Hello, and thank you for coming to the McWaters Effect. I'm your host, Matt. Today, we're going to be talking about Joe Biden's vaccine passport. Well, first, I need to ask you to hit like and subscribe if you like the video. Remember, helps the channel grow. Now, let's get on with the show. Now, first thing I want to say is I'm not anti-vaccine or anything like that. I'm scheduled to get my vaccine sometime next week. My problem with forcing people to get the vaccine with the vaccine passport is, first thing, forcing people to do it. This is the United States. The government doesn't control people. This ain't China. If people don't want to get the vaccine, that should be their right to do so. It shouldn't just stop everybody from doing whatever they're doing. Now, here's the story. The Biden administration is developing a national corona vaccine passport scheme for Americans. And that's exactly what it is. It's a scheme. The thing is, they're making a passport to get into, supposedly, to get into arenas, music events, concerts, stuff like that, and certain businesses as well as restaurants. My problem is what if the restaurant doesn't want to ask people for that card or for the information off the phone to make sure that they had the vaccine? Or what if someone's allergic what's in the vaccine so they can't take the vaccine? There's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to this, and there's also a lot of constitutional issues here too, such as it's no one's business if I had the vaccine or not. It's not your business to make sure I had the vaccine. It's not your business to know my business. I mean, they never did anything like this for the flu, swine flu, SARS, or any other disease from the past, such as polio back in 1919, the swine flu, so on and so forth, or the Spanish flu. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense why you want to do this. I mean, actually, I kind of understand why they want to do this, but it has to do with the media, and the media scared people to death. Some people are afraid to leave the house. Some people are just afraid to go anywhere because they're afraid they're going to get this thing. They don't realize what the numbers are on this particular disease. Here's the stats on this disease right now. A little bit over 500,000 have died. If you do the math, that's a little bit less than 2% have died from the disease. Now, if you look at this chart here, if you look at from people from 65 to over, they hold about 3/4 of the deaths in the United States. And then when it comes to younger, they hold maybe 1/4, maybe. And most of them, pre-existing conditions. So this disease is affecting the old and people with pre-existing conditions. And it's really affected people 85 and over. If you look at it, it's a little over 150,000 people have died from COVID, 85 and over. That's about 1/4 of the people that have passed away in the United States. Then you got 75 to 84. If you add that, that's way over half, and so on and so forth. Now, you look at all the numbers and everything. Does it make sense to do a vaccine passport? Spend all that money. Not only that, he's getting companies, 17 companies involved in this. Everything from people that work on smartphones to so on and so forth to work on this vaccine passport for a disease that's killing mostly old people, people over the age of 65, and people with pre-existing conditions. Not only that, how is this supposed to work for kids? Because kids that are from time they're born till 16 years old can't get a vaccine because they never tested a vaccine on people that young. So there's no vaccine for them. So what? They don't get to go to concerts, football games, so on and so forth, or they do, and everybody else has to have the vaccine. That don't make any fucking sense to me. Unless there's some kind of reason for it. And the only reason I can see for it is for control. It gets companies like Google and Facebook and so on and so forth to have another way to control what you see, what you do, and stuff like that. Not only that, they know what you're watching, so they can send you ads and stuff like that. And this is part of it. And it's mostly big tech that wants to help Biden with this thing. Everybody should be suspicious of this. What's going on here? How's this going to help anything? Is it going to divide people more? Absolutely. Because there's some people that refuse to take vaccines because they believe there's underlying conditions that are caused from them. Do I think they're right? Absolutely not. I think they're freaking nuts. But they have a right to believe that, whether I agree with it or not. But do I have a right, or the government has a right to tell them, hey, you can't go to Jamaica. You can't go to Puerto Rico. You don't have a right to go see the Pittsburgh Pirates play in Pittsburgh. You don't have the right to go see the Dallas Cowboys, or so on and so forth. They think this will bring the country back to normal. How's it normal to do that? It's not. Not only that, is it going to stop at just music venues, sports arenas, stuff like that? No, it's not. It's going to go everything from going into a courthouse, going in to get your driver's license, doing anything mundane. You have to have this vaccine card. And my thing is, if people could go get this vaccine card, they could go get a damn ID to go vote. You know what I'm saying? Fortify the election. Hey, you want to make this passport? All right, make an ID on the passport where their face is on it. Then they can vote with it. Sounds fair to me. Sounds like a compromise. But really, the plan in this is to force people. They have no choice but to take the vaccine so they can go do things they were doing before. And one thing that'll lead in that, I'm sure, is if you want to buy groceries, you got to have the vaccine passport. Well, everybody has to have groceries, unless you're going to keep on just having it delivered to your house. Well, that's the end of my rant for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. But please hit like and subscribe. Helps the channel grow. Peace.